Hey, what's up guys? Jello Gonzalez here, and today we're talking about the Vivo V15 Pro, a phone that brings together several flagship Vivo technologies minus the flagship price. So what are these technologies? It has the elevating front camera and the in-display fingerprint scanner, which we first saw in Vivo concept phones introduced last year. These technologies trickled down to their flagship lines, the X and the NEX, last year, and now we're seeing it in a 24,000 peso phone that has both. So if you've ever wanted a phone without a notch, you want a full screen display once again, and one that also includes an in-display fingerprint scanner, it's cheaper than ever to get a hold of one. The V15 Pro is one of the choices you have today. Of course, there are other choices in the market right now. If you're just after the full screen experience, you can go cheaper with the Oppo F11 Pro, which is 19,000 pesos, or you can go for the standard V15, which is 18,000 pesos. And these phones also feature a motorized pop-up camera, which enables the full screen form factor. But you know, the in-display fingerprint scanner still feels so high-tech, so if a few extra thousand pesos isn't that big a deal for you, still consider the Pro in your list. Consider the 5,000 pesos as the price you pay to be able to tell your friends, hey, check out my phone screen. It can scan fingerprints and it doesn't have a notch. So be that as it may, full screen phones at this price range is still a blessing. It's the next logical step in our battle against bezels. Prior to the release of these phones in the first quarter of 2019, you can only get a full screen phone in the price range of 30,000 pesos or upwards. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 3 comes to mind, which was priced at 30,000 pesos. If you want a more expensive example, there's also the Oppo Find X, which retailed for 50,000 pesos at launch. We've established that one of the big features that the V15 Pro has going for it is its full screen design. But not everyone needs a full screen phone, and there's a lot of competition right now. And the presence of these cheaper phones is what's keeping the V15 Pro from being a runaway success. So if you just want a daily driver and you can live without the full screen design, other phones you can consider include the 16,000 peso Oppo F11, the 17,000 peso Huawei P30 Lite, the 18,000 peso Samsung Galaxy A50. And you may also want to consider the V15 Pro's biggest rival, the Xiaomi Mi 9, which launched for 23,000 pesos. It's 1,000 pesos cheaper than the V15 Pro. It's an absolute toss-up between the Xiaomi Mi 9 and the Vivo V15 Pro. On one hand, you have the Xiaomi Mi 9, which has the top-of-the-line Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, and on the other hand, you have the V15 Pro with its full-screen design. The Xiaomi Mi 9 doesn't have the full-screen design. So what are the pros and cons for these phones? The Vivo V15 Pro has more storage and more RAM. It has 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, compared to the Mi 9, 64GB of storage and 6GB of RAM. The Mi 9, however, has an advantage over build quality. It has an all-glass build, which is more premium feeling than the V15 Pro's plastic build. And it's a big thing at this price point. You're paying 23,000, 24,000 pesos for a phone. You want it to feel premium. You want it to feel like you bought an expensive phone. Both have a triple camera rear array and an in-display fingerprint scanner, but the V15 Pro has the selfie camera advantage. It has a 32-megapixel front camera, while the Xiaomi Mi 9 only has a 20-megapixel front camera. And here's one key difference that may sway you over to the V15 Pro. The Pro has an audio jack, while the Mi 9 does not. Obviously, both have a solid bang for the buck, offering flagship-level features at a sensible price. It's gonna boil down to several key characteristics. If you like having the best chipset around and the premium build, go for the Xiaomi Mi 9. But if you really want the full screen experience and that all-important headphone jack, go for the V15 Pro. And that's it for your take on the Vivo V15 Pro. Once again, this has been Jello Gonzalez, and thanks for tuning in. See you next time.